Peach Bowl, Texas taking on Arizona State, 1 p.m. Eastern on New Year's Day on ESPN in Atlanta. Texas coming in as 13-point favorites. The matchup everyone wants to see is Cam Skattebo against that Texas defense. You and I were on the wrong side of the Big 12 championship. We didn't think Skattebo could do what he did against the Iowa State defense. And I'm going to lean to the fact that we probably don't think Cam Skattebo can repeat that against the Texas defense.
Hold up. We actually did say that we thought Skattebo would get his against Iowa State. We didn't think that they'd be able to throw the football as well against them. And Sam Leavitt did throw the ball really well because their top receiver was out.
Yeah.
But we didn't think Skattebo was going to go that off again.
I guess I should have said we thought that Iowa State was going to be able to key in on Skattebo.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. And to your point, yeah, Arizona State threw the ball. And we saw what Kate Klubnik did last week to the secondary of Texas. And we know Skattebo is going to be involved in the passing game. He's going to be involved in the running game. Leavitt's going to have to make some plays. This is obviously a lofty spread. Quinn Ewers, man, if I'm a Texas fan, I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, you're a 13-point favorite, so you feel comfortable you're going to win the game, but it's just, there's something about Quinn Ewers and you're just I just don't know if I can trust this dude in this offense. And
I just have a feeling, man, he's going to have one game in this playoff that's going to be like the Quinn Ewers legacy game that we talked about. Because right now, all he's had, legacy game-wise, in the really big games, I'm not counting Oklahoma State last year in the Big 12 championship game. If you're a Texas fan, you're playing for championships, and you're playing for bigger games. I know it's a Big 12 championship, but still, that Oklahoma State defense was booty. His game that he had in Tuscaloosa last year at Alabama was by far his best game that he's had against the best competition that he's played against. Yeah. Other than that, you're right. He kind of leaves you, again, desiring more when you watch him play.
I mean, when we think about it with Texas, over the past 2 years, that's really the biggest game that they've won. Mm-hmm. All the other games that they played Washington in the semis last year, lost.
Yep.
They played Georgia twice this year, lost.
Yep.
They played Oklahoma last year in the Red River, lost.
Yep. That's the best teams they've played against.
I mean,
the best teams they've played against, they've lost. You're right. The Alabama game at Alabama earlier in the year last year was by far their best win in the last 2 years.
Luckily for them, Arizona State, comes in, they ranked 15th, 14th, something like that, in the rankings. So they were a team that got in there by virtue of winning the Big 12 conference. Props to Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils, man. It's an unbelievable turnaround for this team.
It's remarkable. And to that point, man, I know you respect him, but Dillingham is legit as an offensive mind. He's a really good head coach, but taking away the head coach part, he's a legit offensive mind. And Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator, is also a very legit offensive mind. Putting those two together.
Dan Lanning loves Kenny Dillingham.
Yes. And putting those two together and having weeks to prepare like this, they will have a solid game plan. And I can promise you they're not going to they know that this Texas defense is the best rushing defense in college football. Mm-hmm. It's the best.
Yeah.
And they know that they can't just line up and just run between the tackles left and right with Scott. I know they'll try some. Of course, they're going to run the football with that guy. Absolutely. Just like Genty, boys, they're going to run the football. But as far as just that's their game plan, just lining up and running left and running right and up the middle against this right into the teeth of this Texas defensive front, like Texas A&M tried to do, that's not going to happen. Clemson wants to run the football too, but you saw they pretty much just went straight air raid with Klubnik because they knew that was their best chance.
Yeah.
Sam Leavitt, for Arizona State to stay in this game, for them to have a chance to win, they're going to have to force a couple of turnovers like we were talking about with Ewers. They're going to have to get the bad version of Ewers and force a couple of turnovers, get to him, sack him, cause some fumbles, something like that. And Sam Leavitt's going to have to make plays. With his feet, he's capable with his feet as well, and he's going to have to make some plays in the passing game. So it's going to be interesting to see what Dillingham has drawn up to try to face against this Texas defense because the defense is legit. As far as Texas is concerned, dude, that rushing attack all year long from all of the better teams in college football, that was the best rushing performance that we've seen all year from Jaden Blue and Wisner. I mean, they both had over 100 yards, averaged. I mean, Wisner averaged 8 yards a carry, and Jaden Blue averaged 10 yards a carry. So they're going to run the football. When Sark's offense is cooking is when they're running the football, play action, and taking shots. So can Arizona State hold up against the run? We're going to find out because Texas is going to try to run the football. I do think Texas has success. I got to be honest with you, man. I think this is a really bad matchup for Arizona State. I just think it's a bad matchup. And what's the line right now?
13. It's bigger than the Penn State Boise game, but I think I'll go ahead and say it. I think Texas is going to win the game. I think this has a greater probability of an upset than Boise beating Penn State.
I can see that. Are you saying that because of your belief in Dillingham, Marcus Arroyo, and the quarterback situation at Arizona State, as opposed to you just don't, like you said a minute ago, you just don't have much faith in Maddox Madsen to be able to go and make enough plays against Penn State's defense?
Yeah, dude. Sam Levitt is a dog.
He is, dude.
He is, and he's not a true freshman. He's a redshirt freshman, but I think he can make some plays. Like, I think he can surprise the Texas defense a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree it's a terrible matchup for Arizona State, but I mean, I just think, again, I keep going back to Ewers in the offense, and I don't think Arizona State's really hard to fully trust them.
Yeah, I don't think Arizona State's going to be able to stop Texas is my problem. I can see Arizona State having a little success in the passing game with Levitt. But again, this may not be a blowout. It may be like a 13-point line. Texas, just like with Clemson. Like, we both had them. You had them at 13 against Clemson. I had them at 12, and Texas won by 14. It wasn't a blowout, but Texas covered. I think it could be very similar. I could see Texas winning this game with pretty similar score like they did against Clemson. I could also see Texas blowing them out. So I am going to make it a best bet. I've got Texas as a best bet to cover the 13. I think Texas wins this game, and I think they cover the 13-point spread against our boy Kenny Dillingham and the Fun Devils.
Wow. Okay. A best bet on Texas minus 13 in the Peach Bowl, where Bebo's not even allowed to be.
Well, I didn't think about that. That might be the difference.
You got one mascot there that's literally the devil, and you can't even have your mascot there. And the Texas fans are enraged. They are the fans that are just the best at being enraged over the minor inconveniences.
Yeah, man, the horns down and everything else. Good Lord. But hey, they don't need Bevo, bro. They got the Texas running game that they're bringing to Atlanta. That's their version of Bevo.
I'm hoping it's a good game. I mean, for your sake, I'm hoping Texas wins by 35. We cheer for each other's bets here, but
they don't have to win by 35. They can win by 4. It could be a really good game, and Texas punching a score at the end and win by 14.
Sure.
And
there you go.